what we're talking about with how you break a stress cycle is really very simple. You break a stress cycle through self-reg. That's how you break a stress cycle. Self-control makes it worse for everybody. Self-control basically leads to some very serious problems, and ultimately they only resolve on their own through entropy. And that's what we've seen historically over and over. I'm talking about societal, not just familial. Okay, so what did we do with this mom? Well, what we did with her was we said, okay, what you need to do first when this is happening, when the explosions are happening, is you have to excuse yourself. You're getting caught up. And so what we needed to do with her was, literally we had her go out of the room, and she did breathing and just bringing herself back down. And then we gave her some very firm instructions. And the instructions were, when you go back into the room, you go back when you're ready. You go back when you're calm. And what we want you to do is, don't say a damn thing. This child is not in a state where she can process what you're saying. What she's processing is what your right brain is saying, not what your mouth is saying. So we want pure right brain communication. What we want to do is we want to tell this child one thing and only one thing, if you want to break a stress cycle. So what's the one thing you tell a kid? And I'm not saying you tell it through your voice. You can tell it through your eyes. You can tell it through your gestures, your body language. What's the one thing you're going to tell a kid to break a stress cycle? Okay. Now the message is, I'm here. I love you. And that means you're safe and secure. That means that and what you're doing through that communication is you are turning off the child's alarm. You cannot break a stress cycle while the alarm is ringing. Okay? Now that part you all understand. That part is clear. But now we want to take it a step further, and this is the last thing I'll do this morning. And this is where it gets incredibly important for our society. Not for all of us and not just for our kid. We can look at a stress cycle, this dyadic phenomenon, where the two are spinning out of control. They're bouncing against each other now, as much as the five domains. What happens in a stress cycle is the stress recovery that I've been talking about all morning becomes dysregulated. The stress starts to become, you start to create your own stress. This has not been understood. What that means is that when the system gets out of whack, we're not just talking about the stress of crowds or the stress of whatever it is. You, within yourself, because your system is caught in this dysregulated cycle, it starts to manufacture its own stress. And it gets stuck in this cycle and can't break out of it.